Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Tales by Rose. Today, we have a special story, so grab your favorite drink. I ignored a call at 3:17 a.m., then my name appeared on a grave. That's the title of our story today. At exactly 3:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. It was not rang, it was not buzzed, it just vibrated. The city outside was quiet in that way cities only get when even the shadows are tired. The screen showed unknown. It was so quiet, like it was afraid to make noise. I remember this because I had just finished my night shift at the radio station in Nairobi. I ignored it. 3 seconds later, a message came through. You should not have left the village. My chest tightened. No one in the city knew where I came from. I had changed my number 2 years ago. Even my mother only called during this. I was always afraid of disturbing the spirits of the night. I typed back, "Who is this?" The typing bubble appeared instantly. You don't remember the river. And that's when I sat up. Because the river wasn't something I talked about. Not since the night Jack disappeared. In our village, elders said the river listened after midnight, and if you spoke your sins near it, the water would remember. Jack and I were boys when we went there, laughing, throwing stones, pretending we were brave. He slipped, or maybe something pulled him. The elders searched for 3 days. They found his sandal, nothing else, and everyone looked at me like I had swallowed a secret. Another message appeared. You were supposed to tell them the truth. Our hands were shaking now. I looked around my apartment, locked door, closed windows, silence thick as smoke. I typed, "This isn't funny. Stop texting me." The phone vibrated again. And why is your childhood name written on stone? A photo followed. I dropped the phone because the picture showed a grave, fresh soil, no flowers, and carved clearly on the headstone. James Miles, born. I didn't sleep that night. At 3:17 a.m., the phone vibrated once more. This time, it wasn't a message, it was a call. And when I answered, the voice on the other end whispered, "The river is still listening. I took the first bus out of Nairobi before sunrise. I didn't pack much, just my phone, a jacket, and the kind of fear that makes you obey things you don't understand." The village hadn't changed. Same red dust, same crooked shops, same silence that watches you. But when I greeted the first elder I saw, his face went pale. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "Not welcome, not you've grown, just shouldn't, at my mother's house." The door was already open, as if she had been waiting for years. She hugged me like someone returning from the dead. "You died once already," she whispered. At night, my phone vibrated at 3:17 a.m. "Aged you because you..." At dawn, I went to the river. The water was calm. Too calm. I noticed something then, something wrong. On the memorial stone near the bank, there were names. Lost boys, lost men, lost stories. But Jack's name was missing. I asked the elders. They exchanged glances like guilty children. One finally said, "The river only keeps names." That night, a voice message arrived. I didn't press play. The phone played it by itself. "I screamed your name until the water filled my mouth. People told me to see Mama Achingen. She lived alone. Never slept, never aged. Her eyes were white like old milk. The river takes memories, but it gives tasks." She touched my forehead. "You were chosen, child, but you ran." At 3:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. No message, just a sound, water dripping onto stone. Memory hit me like a blade. Jackson didn't slip. He stood still and said, "If I go in, promise you'll tell them why." I never did. I ran. The river took him and marked. My phone lit up. Confession opens the gate. Outside, the river began to rise. Other phones started ringing. Across the village. All at 3:07 a.m., people screamed into the dark, names of the forgotten, the unspoken. The buried truths. My phone vibrated less. Only one voice can end this. I knew what it meant. I had to speak. At the riverbank, elders gathered. Mothers cried, children hid. I stepped into the water, cold, heavy, listening. I lied, I said. I was afraid. The water trembled, the current shifted, a shape surfaced. Not Jack, something older. "Truth is heavier than water," it said. The river demanded balance. "A name for a name," the voice said. At 3:02, my phone rang. "Caller ID, Jack," I answered. "I forgive you," he said. The line went dead. By morning, the river was calm. Jack's name appeared on the stone, but mine disappeared. People looked at me differently now, like someone already half gone. Mama Aching whispered, "You belong to both sides now." That night, my phone vibrated. "Your time will come." Not yet. I live back in the city. Different job, different life. But every night at nightclub, no calls, no messages, just the sound inside my walls. Because once the river listens to you, it never forgets your voice. It started with strangers. A woman on the bus stared at me and whispered, "You were standing in water in my dream." A child in the city. I pointed and cried. I realized something terrifying. The river hadn't let me go, it had sent me out. That night, at 3:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. "You are the reminder." I followed the dreams back to an abandoned place. A concrete canal under the city. Dry. But at 3:17 p.m., Mama Aching's voice came through the phone. Rivers are mouths. Cities just pretend they don't hear them. A man leapt into the canal. Not in despair, in obedience. Before anyone could stop him, he said it called my name. That night, his phone rang. So did mine. One truth awakens another. A note appeared on my phone. No app, no sender, just names, dozens, some crossed out, some glowing faintly. Mine was at the bottom. Not crossed out, not glowing, just waiting. I returned to the village. The elders finally spoke. Long ago, they said, the river chose listeners, people who could hear truths others buried. Listeners never lived normal lives. They became warnings or sacrifices. Not wounded, Jack just sad. You still think this is about me, he said. It's about what people refuse to remember. He faded when the phone vibrated. At exactly 3:17 p.m., the city froze. Cars stopped, birds hung mid-air. Only I could move. The phone rang. It is not the only door. When time resumed, no one noticed, except the rivers. A journalist contacted me. She wanted the story. She published names. That night, her voice message arrived. Just screaming. By morning, she had forgotten how to speak. Truth, I learned, demands respect. My mother confessed. She knew Jack had been chosen. She let me take his place. Forgive me, she said. The river raged that night. My phone vibrated until it cracked. The river appeared in the city, flowing through streets, only visible to some. People followed it willingly. Others fought it. The phone showed one message: choose where you stand. My grave wasn't gone. It moved each time I denied a truth. Each time I stayed silent. At the headstone solve every night. A final elder died at 3:17 a.m. His last words were recorded accidentally. We should have listened sooner. The river fell silent. That scared me more than its voice. No vibrations, no calls, no water sounds. People started forgetting again. Wars repeated themselves. Lies grew louder. The river didn't punish. It withdrew. I began telling the story. Not to scare, to remember. Views climbed, comments poured in. Strangers wrote at 3:17 a.m. too. The river stirred. Last night, someone else answered the call. Not me. A new voice, a new listener. At 3:17 a.m., my phone finally went silent, and for the first time, I slept. If you're hearing this at night, check the time. Because rivers don't end, they wait. That's the story for today. Thanks for your time and support.